Hi guys, my name is Allison and this is my what I eat in a day video. This is actually my first what I eat in a day. Previous to this, I've only done a few days of eating in my life, kind of vlog style. So I tried to give you guys some good recipes, but it was a little bit of pressure because I don't really plan my meals. I probably should, but I don't. So if you followed me for a while, you may have noticed the switch from makeup to food content. And I do think that there's a place for both. I started my channel back in like 2013. I started with makeup tutorials. That was my absolute fixation in life was makeup. I used to watch so many Mac Barbie 07, Michelle Phan, like literally all of the like OG beauty gurus. I watched them all the time and I wanted to do makeup videos. And I was always pretty shy of posting, so I didn't post too often. But somehow in my life, I always come back to YouTube and wanting to post videos. So here I am now again. And you might have watched the last couple videos that I've made that are all based around food. So I am vegan and I've been vegan now for 4 years. I think when you become vegan, you kind of have to become a better cook because you have to sustain yourself. And that can be hard if you're just eating stuff that everybody else is making, because most times it's not going to be vegan. When I switched to vegetarian and then vegan, I feel like that's when I really started getting into the kitchen, just like making better foods for myself and trying to understand like where everything was coming from. So yeah, I really do enjoy cooking, and I think that this channel can kind of have a little bit of everything: food, makeup, fashion, travel, vlogs, really anything that I'm feeling. Because why limit it? We only have one life, you know what I mean? If you did click on this video, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and hopefully you subscribe and follow along. I also do want to say that I know that right now everything is extremely expensive. All groceries are so expensive. I understand that. I feel that. Like, trust me. So I want to be mindful when I make these videos. Even when I post videos on TikTok, like I do slideshows, usually of like the meals that I eat that week. And it always feels a little icky doing it because you are like, okay, there's some people who can't afford food right now. Just, I want everyone to be aware that I'm not doing it in a way of, look at me, I got this food, of course. I'm doing it as a way to share vegan recipes because I think that's really important, especially for people who don't know anything about veganism. So that's where my head is at there. I feel like that doesn't need to be explained, but I just want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. But also, with that said, there are families that are in Rafah and kind of spread along the Gaza Strip that have little to no access to food, sanitary products, shelter. They don't have anything right now. It's all been taken away from them. Their homes have been bombed. There's nowhere for them to go. Right now, people are trying to evacuate through the Rafah crossing, which is extremely difficult. Operation Olive Branch is a really great resource that you can use to find a family. Sometimes these families have like 10, 15, 20 or more people, all different medical issues that need to be, that need attention immediately. And you can donate to a family or even just spreading awareness, sharing this link on your socials or talking to your family or your friends about it really goes a long way. So I will leave a link in my description for Operation Olive Branch. So also I post more on my Instagram story about what's going on, so you guys can definitely follow me there. I have some resources and also different accounts you can follow that give you good information. So with all that said, let's get into the video. Good morning. So this morning we're having a smoothie. Sometimes I have tofu scramble, other times I have oatmeal or toast, avocado toast. It really just depends on my mood. This morning I didn't want something too heavy. This is my favorite coconut yogurt, and I usually use it within 2 days whenever I buy it. This is me trying to make the Hailey Bieber Erewhon smoothie, which obviously didn't work. My coconut milk was too thin. So I just got back from the gym. I'm just gonna make a quick lunch because I have a call soon. So I planned on having 2 pieces of bread, but I actually only have 1. So I'm just gonna make an open-faced sandwich. I got these deli slices from Tofurky. These are the plant-based deli slices with like they're peppered, so they're like a little bit spicy. And then I also got the Chao spicy original. My hand's shaking because I did arms. Chao plant-based cheese. Okay, listen, last night I was going a little crazy. I took the cheese and the meat and like rolled it up together. I had a lot of this last night while I was making dinner as like a snack, like an appetizer. They're so good. And this cheese, I haven't had this. I've had the Chao like regular cheddar one, but this one, the spicy one, it tastes like pepper jack. It's so good. So I'm gonna make it as a sandwich. I'm gonna heat up some oil in the pan, and I'm gonna toast my piece of bread. Take my cheese slices. Literally looks exactly like pepper jack cheese. 2 slices. I'm gonna do like 3 on top. So while this cooks, this was like $7.99 for this cheese, and this was like $4.99, so this was more reasonable, and I feel like more worth the price. It's kind of definitely expensive for like cheese and meat, but then I was thinking about it, and like if I was to be eating like real meat, eating a deli slices, like I forget how much that was, but I feel like at least $9 or $10. Like I don't really remember, but even cheese like that you get from like the deli is gonna be like $8 maybe, or like $5. Like I don't really know how much, but I don't buy this kind of stuff all that often just because I make a lot of stuff that I get from Trader Joe's, and like Trader Joe's doesn't have a lot of these things. But I did go to a different grocery store, and sometimes I like to treat myself and get this stuff, so definitely a nice change of pace from eating like tofu and frozen veggies and things like that all the time. I also got this mother-in-law's kimchi. This is the vegan one. They have a non-vegan one that has like fish sauce. This one obviously doesn't have fish sauce. This one isn't my favorite that I've tried, but it's pretty good. This is great for your gut, and it's just like tangy and refreshing. I love kimchi, but I totally get if you're not a kimchi person. I'm just gonna add the smallest amount of water in here to kind of create like steam, and this helps the cheese melt. Gonna add some spinach on top. So this is our quick lunch, half of a sandwich. The cheese really melts so well. It's really good. All right, it's dinner time. This was actually filmed the night prior, and I had just woken up from a nap. So please excuse the makeup that is smeared on my eyes. This night I'm making couscous. So I'm first taking the veggies and getting them into boiling water. I started with the carrots and sweet potatoes because they take the longest, but then I added in potatoes, zucchini, also chickpeas, and I let that steam for a little while. Then I'm getting onto the couscous. While we're here, look how big this tahini container is. I would say on a scale of 1 to expert when it comes to couscous, I'm at a 0. I'm not very good at it, but I'm trying to learn as I go. I just added a little bit of water first to kind of thicken it up, and then I'm adding it over some boiling water into a colander to kind of steam it. This would be better if I had the actual equipment for couscous, but I don't. Then I'm going to add some vegan butter, mix that in, and then just cover that with a lid and let it steam for like 10 minutes or so. I'm adding in my spices. So ras el hanout is an Algerian spice, which I learned afterwards that I probably could have just used that because all of these other spices is kind of like me doubling the work, and that's why it ended up being really, really deep in flavor. I wouldn't say that it was the best couscous ever. I added some veggie broth. Also added in some miso and butter, which is definitely not traditional, but I needed something to add a little bit of thickness. So I just plated it up. It was extremely hot, and I couldn't really gauge the flavor at first. I think my tongue was actually burnt anyway, so and like you really can't taste anything. I would say that it was better the next day. I wanted to try each vegetable on its own. The zucchini was definitely my favorite, and the carrots.